I recently created a review of my 2021 Giant Stance 2 mountain bike, but now I'd like to go into a little more detail about the actual saddle that I ended up putting on this bike. The bike saddle is really only one of three main points of contact your body has with the bike, that being the saddle, the handlebars, and the pedal. The saddle is arguably, in my mind, the most impactful in terms of overall comfort, especially on long rides. This bike came with a giant Romero seat, or saddle I should say, and while sized adequately, it felt a little more firm to me than I'd prefer. On my past bike, a 2020 Talon 2, it came with a lower cost seat that they just branded as a giant custom seat, but I actually liked that seat more. So after a couple of rides with the Romero, I determined that I probably needed something different. I first read a lot of reviews, ended up looking at three different WTB models, the Volt, the Coda, and the Speed. They were all highly reviewed, especially the Volt. And I ended up trying all of those saddles in a size medium and tried the Volt in a medium and a wide. Unfortunately, as much as I really wanted to like the Volt, I really couldn't get comfortable on it. According to my sit bone measurements, the medium should have been just fine. However, it felt too narrow to me from a width perspective. I tried the wide, and while it felt a little better, it didn't really feel that much different in terms of firmness than the Giant Romero. As I was returning one of these seats to REI, I happened just to be looking in the components area and noticed this Bontrager Sport seat. It wasn't a seat that had originally piqued my interest. Bontrager is Trek's in-house component line, so there's nothing wrong with it. It just hadn't really stood out to me amongst all of the different seats on the market. But I looked at it, thought, I'll give it a try. If I don't like it, REI can always will always take it back. They have a very generous and accommodating return policy. And I put this seat on, and actually I love it. So as you can see, it's a fairly wide seat for a mountain bike. The width, I believe, actually comes in at about 163 millimeters. So the WTB Volt, in comparison, in a medium, came in at 142 millimeters. In a wide, it came in at 150. So the standard size of the Bontrager Sport is about 13 millimeters wider than the WTB Volt. This seat is also not overly cushy, so it's not something that you'd see on a cruiser bike, but it certainly does have a nice amount of give in the seat area. This really is something I find that over a long extended ride adds a lot to the comfort. I also like the overall length of the seat as well. It is 275 millimeters long. The WTB Volt length was fine. It was 265. I'll say the Coda definitely felt a lot shorter to me. The Coda, actually, the length felt a lot shorter, and it felt too short. So all in all, I'm very happy with this seat. It's comfortable. It's not the lightest seat on the market. It comes in at, I believe, 350 grams, and the rails are steel. The Volt model that I was looking at had steel rails as well. That came in at 320 grams in a wide size. So you're talking a difference of 30 grams there. For comparison, that's like adding 5 quarters to my pocket as I'm riding, which to me is nothing. That's negligible. I have a lot of other ways where I could reduce 5 quarters worth of weight in terms of riding, other than the main point of contact between my body and my bike, which is the seat. So to me, extra 30 grams is a no-brainer. So again, I really like this seat. Very happy with it. It's very comfortable, has a wide area. It's not a overly, I would say, an overly heavy seat. You can see it has a nice thinnish profile. I think it has a nice length back to front, has a nice curvature here, but overall it is fairly flat with a little bit of curvature downward here towards the outside. There is a channel here for airflow and comfort as well, and there's a nice channel in the middle as well for comfort. So if you're looking for a decent mountain bike seat, on something of a budget, around $35, I would encourage you to at least take a look at this. Thank you.